Hello everyone, this is just a brief preamble, a probably terrible introduction because I'm not really sure how to introduce this video without making it sound like you shouldn't watch it, because you should. Effectively, I wasn't sure how to do the video I'm about to watch, how I was going to shoot it or anything, and I decided to just go with unfiltered, unabashed, just showing off how much fun and enjoyment I'm having with something. Today has been a fairly awful day. I've had some really bad news, and I wasn't going to do a video, but I wanted something to kind of kick myself back into gear a little bit and to try and do something that I knew would be fun, and this is what I recorded. I know it's not at all polished, I know the audio is not great, but I really hope you enjoy it because I had fun making it and it was a nice distraction for 10 minutes or so. This may well end up being one of the most poorly made videos that's on the channel, and I apologise for the sound, but I wanted to show you my newest obsession. So this is a little village I'm building out of the Jägerholm scenery, which is Dark Fantastic Mill's newest Kickstarter, and I've got a real issue here. The real issue being, I can't stop printing these little houses. I can't stop printing them. There's more stuff I need to print. See, this is half the total of what I'm hoping to finish. It's already like a full battlefield's worth of scenery. Like, realistically, if you're playing a game of AOS or something, I don't know that you'd need much more than this, to be honest. And you wouldn't put it in this particular setup. But the thing is, I play a lot of D&D, and these buildings are great. They're perfect. I love them, and I need more of them. See, what I'm planning to do, right, is there's a ring of houses. Well, not a ring, like a semicircle. A semicircle of houses that are facing onto a beach, and then, like, once a month, a bunch of undead walk out of the water, and the citizens of the town have to get on these walkways. They've built these, like, temporary walkways on the houses so that they can defend their village against this wave of undead. And in the village itself, we're going to have, like, 4 of these small houses. Then there's going to be a couple of larger houses behind them. I haven't printed those yet. They're going to go sort of round here somewhere. We've got a well. There's going to be 2 wells in the village. I just haven't got around to printing the other one yet. That is a small smelter. There is a big smelter shrine, which I'm also going to be printing once that becomes available. At the moment, I'm very lucky because I've got access to the pre-release files. So a lot of these are things that are going to be added to or improved on or changed in some way. Back here we have the first thing that was printed, which is just a general barn. It's just a barn prototype. This has changed since I printed it. Ignore the big gap at the bottom. That is my bad printer settings. Nothing to do with the actual STL or the sculpt. So these are like modular, right? So you can take the roof off, you can take the rafters off. If you want it without the rafters, you can put the roof back on because it's got these slots on the underside and these pegs on the top. Having just done that, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to put it. Yeah, there we go. It's getting the roof on that I always struggle with. Oh, I did it perfect. Same thing with these houses, right? So if I take that walkway off and take that off, this lean-to on the side, that is detachable. I love these little lean-tos. They've got like so much character for just a small little thing. And you can take the roof off and you can take the rafters off. There are going to be, I believe, playable interiors on these. So at the moment, it's just a block, right? It's a block, but what you do is you pick the panels that go on the side. So you can choose how many windows you want, how many doorways you want, whether you want doorways, although you probably want a doorway, otherwise how do people get in? But yeah, you choose like the panels that go on the side, and there's going to be multiple options for those. There's also going to be things like foundation bricks. One of the things for this is like thatched and tiled roofs as well. So the kind of outline for this lot is that it's a sort of town or village where monsters are hunted and their stuff is used for the roofs. So you've got this kind of cool scale texture. And there's a big thing around like forging and smelting of weapons, which is where the smelter and the smelter shrine come in. I'm doing my town a little bit differently, but that's because I'm going to be using it for D&D. And I already had like a little village set out. I've just very much changed the background for it. But even things like these rafters aren't actually, like, you don't have to have those rafters. I've used different rafters on this building over here, right? So this one is not something that's technically, it's not actually a building yet. Or at least it's not a building that you can just print straight away, because I've kit bashed stuff, because I can't help myself. You know me, I like kit bashing things. And even when it comes to printable buildings, can't help but kit bash them. Oh, I didn't get the roof back on properly. Get back on there. Yeah, there we go. So this is actually, and all of this is going to fall apart now. I'm not going to move it. I'm not going to move it. 2 walkways on top of the barn, which is that thing there. It's a little bit difficult to tell because this is in a totally different color resin. It's like slightly translucent almost. Creality Hyper Series resin works super well. So I've got a couple of walkways to form the roof for that. There's some struts. I'm busy printing loads of those to go on all the houses, like support struts. I really like those. But then I took the small house, which is the same as all of these, and I upscaled it to like 102% because that way it would fit on the barn. See, the barn is a different template to the small house, so they wouldn't necessarily fit together, but I upscaled this just a little bit along with the other type of rafter so that it would fit over one half of the barn, and that way I've got a merchant's house, like a merchant store that also has his home on top, which I'm so happy it came out as well as it did. Yeah, I'm so like weirdly excited about this. Weirdly excited because I've had ideas for a little village like for D&D on a small island, and I've kind of been a bit torn as to what to do for the scenery for it. I've got lots of scenery, but none of it fitted like the kind of look, the aesthetic that I was after. And then when Dark Fantastic Mills started showing off the Jägerhome stuff, I was like, this is it. This is kind of perfect for what I want. You can see as well, I've got doors there. There's a door on that one. The door is actually over here on this one here. So they're all different, like slightly different layouts. You can put the lean-tos wherever you want. So if you wanted to have one facing out towards the monsters, I kind of figured that's where the loo is, right? Not that anyone needs to know that, and not that it will probably come up in D&D, but I don't know. I just like the kind of world building aspect of that, where the rooms or the buildings make sense. You've got a place for them to live. It's not a big place, but there's a place for them to live. And then there's somewhere where you do, you know, the rest of your business. And you don't want that just like out in the actual home when there's an option to have it built off to the side. There's other stuff to add to this though, right? So round the back here, there's going to be that ring of houses. There's going to be a larger house on each side. So one there and then one over the side there. It's going to be a ridiculous battle map for D&D. I don't know how I'm going to fill it with monsters, or even how they're supposed to get our work something out. So like a bigger house there and there. You can use the barn, so that and that as a base for a bigger house, and it's like a 2-story house. So you've got like barn storage on the bottom, and then you've got a larger building on top. There's also one that's built on like jagged rocks and stuff that I can't wait to print. So that's going to be like, I'm thinking that might be like the mayor's home or something, and I might make a fancy 3-story building because you can keep stacking them if you want. I'm going to have at least 2 like 2-story small houses. You can just stack them up as much as you like. Thinking the one with the big rock might be the mayor's house. Alternatively, that can be like a small inn, which is what it is in the background that's already been written for Jägerhome, right? Like they already have the setting completely laid out. If you just want to use theirs, then you can. But it's just going to get so much bigger. I'm hoping that by the time this is done, the battle map for this little mini arc that the D&D campaign is going to like happen in, these houses are going to be further along the table. There's going to be like a wall of them. There might be a few rocks and a few things kind of scattered in front. That'll maybe make like kind of improvised like barricades made out of these, which are just the walkways, but scaled down. Rescaling stuff, super helpful. You can just make loads of little bits of variety rescaling the models. And then sort of a couple of bigger houses, like a couple of 2-story small houses, a couple of medium houses, maybe a 3-story one for like some sort of, yeah, maybe make that the inn and make the houses on the rocks like the mayor's house or something, like a general traders, have something set up so like have some sort of blacksmith thing going on there. I could print another barn. I could print another smaller barn next to the smelter and have that be a blacksmith. There's just so many ideas. There's so many ideas, and there's like a lot of variety that's going to come out of that Kickstarter. Just makes me super excited, super hyped about it. Things like having fortified houses and like stone cladding instead of the wooden panels, all that kind of thing. So yeah, this is my current obsession. I'm just trying to think how many hours of printing this is. It's not too bad. I'm mostly using the Creality CR10 SE, which I did a video on, and it's super quick. Like, I can get a full small house. I think it's about 8 hours for the structure, and then it's another 4 hours for enough panels to cover 2. So total is like 12 hours, but then, you know, I've got the panels for 2 of them instead of 1 after that. So I'm super excited about this. I'm really, really, like, become super invested in it. I've started writing more stuff. I even started toying with the idea of just starting a completely different D&D setting just based off this stuff, like a Monster Hunter world, effectively. Since you've got these kind of scale roofs and stuff, some of them I've got like full-on like spines sticking out the top of the roof, and I love it. I just, more. I'm just going to end up printing more. But anyway, this is the current obsession. This is what I'm currently getting very excited about. This is what I'm currently spending most of my time printing, even though there's stuff that they're going to get to before this, but I just can't help myself. It's just a really cool set of scenery, super customizable, like everything kind of comes apart. Like, take all of that away and you've just got that basic barn structure, but then put it all back, you've got a totally different look and feel to it. I'm just really enjoying myself, you know? I also can't remember if I did an outro or not. So if I didn't do an outro, you're probably watching this, where I'm going to say thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I hope you're all good. Oh, and also, this video isn't sponsored. It's just me really enjoying something. Although they've sent me the pre-release files for the Jägerholm Kickstarter, which was really kind and lovely of them, and I'm kind of talking to them about it as it's developing, but it's not a sponsored thing because they're not paying me anything. I don't really know how to really go about describing the relationship there, but they make cool stuff and they're kind enough to share it with me, and that's pretty much it.